All right, so let's keep working on implementing some of the user functionality of being able to log in, register, and update our profiles. Okay, so we can already log in, right, and navigate to the profile, but we cannot register or create a new user, right? So let's work on that. Before we do that, let's do some cleanup. Notice that here we have our configuration in the main app.js of the of our application, right? So in here we might actually have quite a bit more routes, right, as the application grows, right? Certainly we have 3 here for the user, right, for being able to log in, register, profile. Certainly, we can add 3 more, perhaps for the websites, right? Being able to list the websites, edit a website, create a brand new one. So at least 3 more for the website. Maybe 3 more for the pages. Maybe 3 or 4 more for the widget. So this is going to balloon, right? There's going to be quite a few of these, right? So we might want to break this up, right? Again, to manage complexity on how much do we have. So one of the first steps that we might do is break it up into its own file. All right, so let's break it up into its own file. And as this grows, maybe we'll break it up into 2 more files, right? Maybe per feature or per data type, right? Or per entity. However we want to decide to organize it, right? Whatever makes sense, but by what team is working on what feature, perhaps, right? And they have their own configuration, right? We can break it up that way. So first, let's break it up and into its own separate file. I'm just going to copy this into a separate config file. That's a very common name for a file that the only thing that it does is configure the application. So let's look at it. The only difference here from what we already had is that the configuration is going to happen on a module that already exists, right? On a module that we've already declared. So this is going to be a read operation, meaning get me the WAM module because I want to configure it. Okay, and we're certainly going to add more configuration here, right? And now that we've configured it there, we don't need to configure it in the app. We can remove that from there. Okay, that config file is going to get bigger, and as it gets bigger, we'll break it up into smaller config files. Okay. So let's go. Now that we've broken it into 2 separate files, we need to load it from our index document, saying that no longer just we have an app.js, we also have a config.js. There it is. Okay, makes sense. And if we load, it seems to be working fine, right? Bob works the same way, right? So we haven't broken anything. All right, any questions? All right.